Hey, True Believers England team here, and I'm with Dom, and I've got a few things. Watch Marvel Zombies, so you freaking have to. That's my title. I always like people. Oh, I watch it, so you don't have to. No, I watched it. You know what? You need to go too. I'm going to put that. Why do I have to do all the work here? No. So yeah,
Well,
I've
to be
got.
fair, like people have like jumped ship like from not just like Marvel Comics, but Marvel Studios as well.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I had to turn the fan over on me. Uh, it's a little bit warm in my corner here, a little corner of the world. Little man, I'll tell you what, I
I
am
hear
definitely getting wired headphones next time because he has chewed and split, and you have just made a mess of things. Yes, you have. Yeah, you really have. Oh my goodness gracious! So hey, cartoons and comics, what's up? I'm actually going to be
you.
doing more of these live streams. I think maybe one a day, where I just talk about topics and such. It's a lot of fun. I kind of miss it. We used to do a lot more of them. But like I said, we're going to be talking about Marvel Zombies. We're going to be talking about. I'm going to show off some comic books I got for the auction on Monday. I'm thinking of going back out and grabbing some more. I don't know how Superboy would do, but there was a whole line of like the 1980s run of Superboy. I think if
Well,
I put it, say again.
if we're talking about like classics, Superboy, like young Clark Kent before, excuse me,
Yeah,
before Connor Kent, because
Connor
like
Kent, 1990s Connor Kent does sell too.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It would be a surprise like if those books like didn't sell, even classic
yeah,
adventure
yeah.
comic.
And also whatever you guys want to talk about in the chat. We were talking about how YouTube, by the way, if you guys know the history, my channel got nerfed. My channel got shadow banned. And every time I would call, I got, guys, how can I get out of this shadow ban? How can I? This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And they would say, "Oh, you're not shadow banned. We don't do that. We don't censor people. We don't do this." And I said, "I know you do," because it really was like hitting a wall. I was doing a certain amount of business, and then boom, you can actually see it if you look at my views. I think it was about 2018. I've been at 18,000 subs since. I saw this one guy. He calls himself the Mint Hunter. He's doing a thing where he's offering like the first appearance of Venom as once he gets to 50,000. Maybe I should do something like that. I don't have the first appearance of Venom. I don't know what I have. First appearance of Creature Commandos, get me to 20,000. Once we hit 20,000, I will give that book away. I will give that book away. We'll do a drawing. Anybody who has commented and on the videos, boom, you get in on it. So is YouTube finally going to do something about your Shadow Man? I doubt it. I'm not big enough. I think it's going to be one of those things where they brought back Alex Jones, but I heard that he got banned again last night. We were talking about it. I think they're going to pay attention to the big ones. I don't think they're going to do an overreach. I couldn't be that lucky. I would love to be that lucky. That would be nice to actually have the videos. I think they should do this anyway. They should, if somebody's subscribed, they should get the notification. It's ridiculous that you got to jump through all these hoops to get the notification for the videos of the people you're subscribed for. But if you are subscribed to a YouTube channel, you don't get the notifications automatically. You have to hit notifications. But then you don't get the notifications automatically. You have to ring all notifications. And I will tell you what, even that doesn't work because everybody I'm subscribed to, I hit all notifications, and I still don't. Especially if they're conservative. I don't get the notification that Tim Pool or the Daily Wire or anybody, but that just might be me. But I hope they do something. Anyway, this weekend, we have a new show from Marvel Comics on Disney Plus, and it's Marvel Zombies. I thought, really? Okay, well, it's Halloween. Let me put this on. Maybe Gail will get a kick out of it, even though it's superhero stuff. It's still zombie stuff, right? I think she really didn't. You didn't really pay attention to that, did you, Gail? Yeah. But I watched it. First thing I noticed was it was written by a guy named Zeb Wells. Now, I'm not particularly familiar with his writing. I don't read new comic books. They price themselves out, and they are not good enough for the price, you know? And let's face it, that's what it comes down to. Does the quality meet the price? I mean, granted, you know, sometimes you do run into that thing, but you're willing to go out and you're willing to pay $15 to $20 for 4 issues of the Dark Knight Returns. That's just a 4-issue comic. Sure, they're prestige format, they're double size, but you're willing to, if it's in trade, you got the trade paperback. Basically, you just paid $20 or however much it is these days for it, and people are happy about it because it's good. And that could be said for any number of comics. Beyond just the collector stage, you're willing to pay a certain price if that comic book is good, if that comic book is of interest to you. I'm wanting to start collecting again, but all I'm wanting is Alter Ego and Back Issue Magazine. And they're $10 each, and I will pay it happily because I know I will be getting my money out of it. No, it ain't Halloween season yet. That's October 1st. Well, we decided to start early. There's way too many good horror films to watch in only a month.
Especially when they're being, when they were and were and are being released during the summer. Although now the summer season is officially over because fall started on the 23rd of September.
I'm gonna do the same thing with Christmas. My Christmas season is starting November 1st. I'm gonna, as far as Christmas movie,
giving Thanksgiving already.
Christmas movie watching. Well, you know what? On Thanksgiving, I will be checking out Planes, Trains, and Automobiles as I do every year. That is, and Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Those are non-negotiable. Those are non-negotiable. Then I might put on some sort of Christmas movie like the Santa Claus or something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna make sure. Last year I realized, holy crap, I left a whole bunch of classics behind. So yeah, I'm not gonna miss them. So Halloween season starts now. We've been watching actually Halloween. We'll watch Halloween 3 and 4, and I think I put on one of the new ones or something. One of them. I want to watch Halloween 3. Not Halloween 3 and 4. It was Halloween 4 and 5. Those aren't great. Halloween 4 sucks. I thought it was all right, but I rewatched it. Halloween 4 sucks. Halloween 5's okay though. But the 6th one.
Well, Halloween 3 through the season of the witch, which as time went on, it received a better reception, and people realized that they judged it too harshly. Because really, it's a good movie.
I'm one of those people. I used to hate watching this thing, and in the end, it's like, okay, no, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna watch this again, and it really is a great film on its own. It's just not a Michael Myers film. Hey, Ethereal Dragon, what's up?
Hey, Ethereal, but it does create a rather a what if. That, like, if the studios actually honor like Carpenter's original plan for the Halloween series and turn it into an anthology instead of having it be solely focused on Michael Myers. His story finish in the second Halloween.
I think that John Carpenter would be more involved. I mean, he was producer and all that, but after a while, he wanted to separate himself because the Michael Myers movies, they just kind of went away. You know, it's like this is what he wanted from them, and oh my gosh, look at that! Except for like H2O, the ones with Jamie Lee Curtis and such.
Yeah.
I've been on a Jennifer Connelly kick. I've been watching Labyrinth, Career Opportunity, Rocketeer, The Day the Earth Stood Still. All fun films. The Day the Earth Stood Still is okay. I don't think it deserves the hate it gets, but it is not the greatest. I still enjoy the first one better. Let's see. I watched Demon Slayer Castle. It's like the best animated movie I've watched in years, says Cartoons.
I mean, it and along with K-pop Demon Hunters, it's pretty much putting Disney to shame and Pixar.
Well, that's something. I mean, isn't that what Miyazaki did just 20 years ago?
Yeah, it's not just those movies, but also DreamWorks. Have been kicking Disney's butt as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Actually, you know what? DreamWorks kicks Disney's butt in right out the gate. Live action remakes. Did you see How I Met Your Dragon? Or no, How I Met Your Mother. No, How to Train Your Dragon.
No, I didn't watch the live action remake of How to Train Your Dragon because it will just encourage me to rewatch the original.
Yeah, well, that's always a good thing anyway. But it was a good movie. I was very impressed.
In spite of the race swap, of a certain character.
Well, my thinking is this: I'll bitch and moan, because I think it deserves bitching and moaning. But when it comes to sitting down and watching the movie, I know it's there. It's done. Okay, let's see from here on in. Let's see how they do. And it was good. It was good. They don't bring anything up. There's no more girl power than there is actually in the animated series, because in the animated series, it was exactly the same. So it's not like they're doing anything that wasn't in the original story. Dalton's alive, and he's live on his channel. I'm very happy to hear that. It's been a while since I talked to him.
I was wondering like, what's been up with him.
Yeah, it's been. I was looking at all my correspondence, and it has been a month since he's said anything. Like, I think he shared something out, but he hasn't said anything in months. The last time he said anything to us about our show was in, I think, August. No, it was before that. But it's been a while. But I'm glad that he's okay. It was July. Really all that matters. Yeah, July. I hope there's no beef between us that I don't know about here. But the main part is I hope he's okay and doing well. Did you send my short box out? Says One Slick. Not yet. I did not do that yet. I do have the money, and I will be sending it out Monday. Boom, boom.
Goodness. So, me of. Well, we're still on the topic of movies. Like, what is related to it is today's episode of Thinking Critical. Well, where he and the crew were talking about like how and why comics and graphic novels become so expensive, while manga is still like kicking Western comics' butt because of not just accessibility but affordability as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they also like bring up like with how like both Warner Brothers and Disney with how they've been handling Marvel and DC for years. You're like they're not doing like brand synergy or even like introducing people like to the comics.
I mean, he is a DC character. Perhaps we can get people into him so we can make more of everything. Wait a second. There's a freaking full-on pornographic orgy in the first episode. Maybe kids aren't going to be getting into that. Okay, well, how about Deadpool and Wolverine? Maybe, ooh, yeah, no. They are so pulling away from comic books and comic book superheroes being family fun. I mean, the title of this is me supposed to be talking about the Marvel Zombies. You know what? Marvel Zombies would be something like in the 80s, like heavy metal or something, where kids weren't invited to watch it, but we watched it anyway.
Yeah, well, there's still the mentality, much like with how some people like still to this day view animation as something that is only for kids and families. Like there is still that same mentality regarding comic books and graphic novels.
Yeah, and I agree
You would
with
think,
one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was, say like before you continue, that you would think that as time goes on, like this like mode of thinking like would change,
Hmm.
but yet it continues to persist.
Yeah, I agree with one slick. He's saying it would be better if they went to newsprint. I remember just a few years back, wasn't Alterna Comics
Yeah,
inexpensive? They were doing newsprint, so
yeah, and they're still doing it. And what's they actually talked about like how comic books like they should have gone back to newsprint years ago.
yep. I I got to tell you, as somebody who likes older comics, I like the newsprint. I do. I like the way it feels. The new ones, I mean, I'm not saying I hate it, but I gotta say,
But the
yeah.
glossy, but with the glossy magazine paper, like it doesn't have it doesn't have the same level of quality as say like newsprint paper because with the newsprint, where like it actually ages well, it doesn't like face like the same level of degrade as say magazine paper. Oh, degradation, I mean.
I liked the last episode of Peacemaker. Thank you very much. I knew it was coming. Um, I glocked it a while back when he first showed up. I was like, okay, I know what this is, and I'm hoping we get an Uncle Sam. I don't think we will, but James Gunn.
Careful what you wish for, man.
James Gunn likes James Gunn likes the more obscure characters, and it would be nice to see the Freedom Force in there.
But
If
even
anybody was going to do Phantom Lady the way Phantom Lady needs to be done, it would be James Gunn.
Will he portray Uncle Sam and the Fighters like as they are in the comics instead of like how he handled Peacemaker, the Guardians, and countless others that he has touched?
Oh, he'll put him however. I mean, I'm not quite sure where you're going with that, but of course he'll put a spin on it somehow. The Crypto Crypto, by the way, was the worst part of the Superman movie. I actually liked the Superman movie, but I did not like Crypto because Crypto is a menace. Crypto needs to be put down. He needs to be killed because Crypto, the way they have him, will accidentally kill hundreds, if not thousands, of people.
Yeah. Well, that's why I should brings in. It's connected to what I previously said because even though Gogan has shown and proven that he is a genuine comic book fan, but his taste in comics are questionable, and also how he handles characters, even the obscure ones, they rub people the wrong way.
Yeah, but cartoons and comics, the universe where the Nazis won World War II is very much an Aryan universe. So there, it was exactly the same thing. And now it's not so much propaganda and, hey, this is the big difference, but now you know the reason why his father isn't ostracized and killed and all that kind of stuff is because this is a world that sees that has the same viewpoint as his father. And with his father being alive and being in a situation where it's comfortable, his brother's alive, he was feeling love from the family that he normally wouldn't have gotten. So he, in Peacemaker's eyes, the death of his brother has a lot to do with his father in the way he turned out a hard, bitter, cranky man than anything else. So he was looking for that acceptance. And because he was getting that acceptance, he wasn't really paying attention to what was going on around him. That was the point of the Peacemaker final episode.
Whereas, like in the original comics, I was like in Charleston, his dad like, was not an escaped member of the Nazi Party. Well, like both like him, he was good people. Like he was a veteran, and like really his family life was pretty much normal. Then when Crisis on Infinite Earth happened, and the characters like folded into the main DC universe, creating New Earth. Of course, Peacemaker was one of several that had his origins tweaked.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Let's see. James Gunn likes to put daddy issues in every movie he does. I haven't noticed that. Does he really? I want to go back and watch Slither now and see if that's in there. James Gunn, sorry, but I think he's acting worse than Snyder. He's putting too much of his thing in DC property. Well, so did Snyder. You don't need a fan. We need a leader who can actually realize, yeah, but you know what? We got this. So hopefully he does well. The problem is as far as that kind of thinking is concerned is they put Gunn in charge. What are you going to do? I mean, you can stop watching. Sure, stop watching. Fine. But stop sending shit about Snyder. Just stop sending shit about Snyder. I don't want to hear that. And if you don't like it, that's your tough luck. I enjoyed it. That's what's important to me anyway. I always say the other way around too. If I hate something that somebody else likes, you were lucky, I was unlucky. It's just the way it is. But I'm tired of this. I am so tired of the Snyder Bros. Snyder Bros makes me not like movies I like. Just shut the F up just for 5 seconds and let us enjoy what's here, what's now, or not enjoy it, whatever. But just shut the f up for 15 seconds, will you please? Yeah, I'm sorry, but dude, I actually like Batman versus Superman, the extended cut. I love Justice League Snyder cut. Man of Steel, I enjoy. It's got its moments. But goddamn, I hate Snyder Bros. I don't know them. I hate the way they act, and I hate just getting inundated. Anybody says, "Hey, I like this scene," and we already got that on this side of the field. Of all the things everybody disagrees with your boy Zach on, the one thing I do agree with is, oh, look, people are paid to hate things. You know, it just, okay. I would love to get reasonable reviews. You know, I have to step out of this community sometimes to find that. You got to go find the Jeff Johns or somebody, or just somebody who's not doing the whole business. I get it. Hate sells. My title is based on why watch Marvel Zombies so you don't have to. Her. No. Look, watch it. Don't watch it. That's up to you. All I can tell you is how I felt about it. And I felt it's good. It's all right. It was good. It was better than I thought it was going to be. It's done by the people who do What If. And if you guys, in all honesty, I can't really speak to What If. I only watched the first season, and it made me have no desire to watch any of the others. For the longest time, What If was by far the worst thing, and it may still be the worst thing, in my opinion, that Marvel Universe, the MCU, has ever done. The one thing that gets me in so many, with What If, the main thing, and this is Marvel stopped also, by the way. I stopped reading What If comics when they stopped saying what the comic was. And instead they go, what if Avengers? What if the fucking Avengers what? What if Quicksilver? What if Quicksilver did what? You got to have a story in there. You know, what if Spider-Man and Black Cat got married? Aha. Now that's a story. And there has to be this split. There has to be the split where, okay, you know, they either do get married or they don't get married. Where's the split? You know, that it has to have that. That's where the Watcher comes in. This is how it happened in reality. And this is the other universe. And that's how What If should be. And the TV show threw that out. And also, in order for the What If to happen, it has to have been able to happen. You know, what if, There you go. You're back. Hello. I can hear you bumping around. What If is the second worst MCU project, says Cartoons. Don Cheadle's show, Secret Invasion, is the worst Marvel MCU anything. Like I said, for the longest time, Marvel's What If was. Secret Invasion, I think, I think that took it. I really do. What was I saying? Okay, I forgot what. It had to have happened. Like the whole, first one was the first comic book was What If Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four? Well, in Spider-Man, he actually goes to the Fantastic Four looking for a job. So there's a split off. It could have happened because that was part of the plot. One of the episodes of What If the TV show has what's his name? The bad guy in Black Panther. What was his name? The Killmonger. Over the hill while Tony Stark is being attacked. He's just like right around the corner listening. And then he goes and he saves Tony Stark, and now he's his what do you call it? Ward or something. So it has to happen. What If kind of dropped that. So I was kind of surprised to find out this show, the Marvel Zombies, was a spin-off of What If. And went, okay. You okay? All right. And when I did, I was like, this might not be good. This might not be good. But it starts off, and it's got Riri Williams, Kate Bishop, and Kamala Khan. Now, one of those characters and one of those actresses, I actually do. Well, I do like Haley Steinfeld, and I liked her Hawkeye in the TV show. I like her Hawkeye in the TV show better than I like the Hawkeye Kate Bishop in the comics. Same actually with Kamala Khan. And so I was like, oh, this might, do I want to watch this? And as it went, okay, even Riri is not as bad as she was in her TV show. Thank God they gave her an actual character. I only made it through half of, did I make it to the whole first episode? I mean, I think I made it on through half of one episode of Riri Williams. But this one was okay. It was them trying to survive, and they get into some situations. They find Avengers Quinjet crashes, and they find a transmitter, and they want to find out what it is. So they travel. They're going to somewhere they know that they can find it, and as they do, they go into this desert, and we end up finding it's called something like the Desert of the Angry Gods. That's not the name, but it's something like that. And what it is Icarus and Captain Marvel fighting. Now, Icarus is fighting Captain Marvel, so she doesn't go and kill millions and millions of people. So it's the gods fighting. Neither one of them can dent the other, basically. So they keep fighting. But when Kate Bishop, Riri Williams, and Kamala Khan go into the air. Oh, by the way, I guess I should say spoilers, right? Things happen, and you find out that okay, the stakes are high right away because one of them is killed. All righty, hello to Dominic again.
Yeah, that's where we started on my end.
It's all right. Let's see what we got. Wanda Scarlet Witch is too OP. It ruined Dr. Strange. I like that. No spoilers. As few spoilers as possible. Wanda is the ultimate Mary Sue. Well, they said it, though. They actually said in the show that the Scarlet Witch could be more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. Which you want to do that kind of thing. They always do that kind of thing because if you pay attention into the comics, most villains are supposed to be more powerful than the hero because the hero has to overcome. That's why Wanted, the Mark Miller did that one, right? Wanted?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. In the Wanted...
Are you referring to the comic or the movie?
The comic. In the comic book, right. Wanted, all the bad guys said, wait a second, we're more powerful and there's more of us, let's team up. And they were able to take over because they were more powerful than the heroes. They just were not together, you know? Go
Until
ahead.
eventually, until eventually, like the fraternity was not only overthrown. Wesley got his comeuppance, and heroes were able to flourish again, like in
Mhm.
the Miller verse. Whereas in the world of Jupiter's Legacy, which also Super Crooks is set in, it showcased a universe where the fraternity's plan of wiping out the superheroes failed.
All right. Hello to Eric. How'd your game go?
After 6 long, miserable months, Monday, the Reds had a 4% chance of making the playoffs. 4. Tomorrow, they win, they're in.
All right. Well, fingers crossed.
All right.
And if they lose, if the Mets lose, they're in. So the only way they can fuck it up is if they lose and the Mets win.
Huh.
Let's see. Yeah, Austin says
Well-
I'm so behind him watching Marvel. The worst MCU anything I've seen is Captain Marvel. Yeah.
Well, the second word. Well, I mean, not even the second, but there's still like more worse material that came out of not just Marvel comics, but Marvel series as well, like the Eternals and What If.
Hmm.
But as for like Wesley and the fraternity, certainly receiving their comeuppance, that occurred in Big Game, which is also done by Mark Miller, and it's really it's not only friendly to newcomers of his own shared universe, but it's a comic book event done right.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we're talking about. So, yeah, I'll sum it up like this. It was, I was actually surprised to find out it was written by Zeb Wells because everybody was telling me how horrible a writer Zeb Wells was. I haven't read his Spider-Man comic, so I had nothing to go by. I like the fact that the stakes were high. I like the fact that they had the ultimate villain, which unfortunately Maverick is spoiling in the chat there, was unbeatable. It wasn't because the superheroes should be able to just fly through a crowd of zombies. There are some that just wouldn't be hurt by unless they end up. And I don't understand how some of this happens, but because the Hulk should never be affected by zombies because there's nobody strong enough to penetrate the Hulk's skin with a bite or a scratch. And even if he does, it heals quickly, very quickly, if you go by the Peter David run. So that's the way it should be. The villain should always be tougher. And yes, that's what happened, Maverick. I told you, Doctor Strange is not as powerful as the Scarlet Witch in the MCU. Maybe in the comic books, but not in the MCU. It's two different things. I think that mindset lets me watch movies and not worry about the books. I got it from Stephen King. Somebody was interviewing him. Yeah, I think it's in Dance Macabre or maybe a magazine I read. I don't know. It was a collection of interviews. And somebody asked Stephen King, what do you think about all these movies ruining your books? And he says, I don't know what you're talking about. My books are on this shelf right here, and they're just fine. And that's the way I see the two things. The movies are their thing. The comic books are their thing. So read the comics, watch the movies, unless they do something stupid like tell you that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are mutants because or Inhumans because mutants aren't in they're not owned. The movies aren't owned by Disney. Unless they do something like that, it's two separate things.
It's kind of like how somebody asking Lee Child what he thought about having a 5'7" guy playing the 6'5" Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
And he said, I just count the money.
There you go. Yeah. Let them make their movies. The books are fine. We had a friend. He has not shown up for a long time ago. I actually forgot his name. he helped me on my first live stream. Wasn't Nightwolf. But he got mad because if you're going to do Infinity Gauntlet, then do Infinity Gauntlet. Like everything has to be 1-for-1, page for page. And I knew they weren't going to be doing that. They're going to want to use the characters and the actors and everything they have in the movies. Gosh darn it, what is this? So many people have passed through our doors there, Eric. What was his name?
What wasn't Elijah, was it?
No, it wasn't the Araman. I know he was like he wasn't in the continental United States, but he was like just a little bit off. Yeah. Why would you want your steak so high? Aren't you hungry? Oh my gosh, yeah, I would love a steak. But
Are you talking Apollo?
No. He was on my very first live stream. What was his name? I don't know. I forgot it. Sorry, man.
I'm sorry that you completely froze because you ruined my cool idea.
What was the cool idea?
Well, I'll wait to see if you ever unfreeze.
Oh, am I frozen on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff open.
Okay, all right. I need you to point at the camera and go, "Look, Godzilla."
Godzilla. Do I have to do the voice?
Yes.
Godzilla.
Well, because your audio track is I'm close to your video.
Oh. Right. Adam Warlock missing, Death missing, Mephisto missing, all the Cosmic Marvel God roster missing. Infinity War was a great movie, but had nothing to do with comics. Exactly, sir. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It has nothing to do with the comics. They're not doing the comic stories. They're doing the movie stories. That's it. So a lot of the things we're getting is in name only. So,
whereas with DC and Warner Brothers, I think they did more of doing direct adaptations of familiar and obscure storylines like from the comics than Marvel.
Well, I know their animated films are pretty good about it. Not Infinity. What is it? The oh goodness gracious, New Frontier. That was excellent. And when I read the book, I was like, holy crap, they stayed pretty close to it. It wasn't 1-for-1, but yeah.
Well, you can say the same thing about what's so funny about Truth, Justice, the American Way, and it was adapted to Superman versus the Elite.
Yeah. Oh, and the Brainiac.
They choose the source material, but also it expanded upon it.
Those hello? Are you okay? Yeah. Which one I had it?
You talking about Brainiac?
Brainiac, yeah. Jeff Johns' Brainiac storyline was done in, what was it, Superman Unchained? That got me searching the comics. My wife got the trade paperback for me for Christmas. I loved that story. That is so good. And then when the Injustice 2 did the same storyline, yeah, that was great. Let's see. I think all those missing cosmic things could have been believably slid into in-game, but no, we had to do nostalgia bait, time travel. Yeah, you're right. But I don't know.
Not wrong.
I don't know. I don't know how episodic it may have felt, because if I did read Infinity Gauntlet recently, and it does feel episodic. And it's just, okay, now I got to battle these baddies. Now I got to battle these guys. Now I got to battle these guys. Here come the heroes. It was not a smooth transition. There was not a lot of character, even though there were a lot of characters. It was just mostly movement. Rush Hour, Jackie Chan, Lee, let me tell you something about Asians. We never panic. James Carter, oh yeah, when Godzilla become me, I'll be tripping. My gosh. I do love those movies.
I was actually rewatching like the first two of the Rush Hour trilogy, and it still holds up.
Yeah, it's good. I have a Chinese friend who lives in France, and when the third one came out, I sent her I clipped that and I sent it to her. The whole bit about where he starts speaking French and says, have some self-respect and all that kind of stuff. I sent it to her. She
you're Asian. Stop humiliating yourself.
You're Chinese. Stop humiliating yourself. Yeah. That was funny because, yeah, she was a French speaker at that point. I think the Infinity Saga could have been a trilogy. It could have been.
It could have. No, but Rush Hour 2 remains like my favorite because like it could like again like it's an example of a sequel done right by telling a new story while refining like what has come before.
Yep.
It was also like my introduction to Don Cheadle before he became like famous.
My introduction to Don Cheadle, I guess, was Colors. He was the main gangster guy in Colors, but I didn't know him. I got to go, okay, his name's Don Cheadle when he did a movie with Denzel Washington called Devil in a Blue Dress, and he played kind of a jumpy, sort of murderous bad guy. At one point in time, Denzel Washington tells him to watch a suspect, and he comes back and the suspect's dead. And Denzel, what the hell? He goes, well, if you didn't want him dead, why'd you leave him with me?
That's hilarious.
Trivia question.
Okay.
Devil with the Blue Dress. Who wrote the book that was taken from? Because he has a connection to nerdness, so there's a reason for this.
Okay. My guess was Elmore Leonard, but I have no idea.
No, it was a black guy.
Christopher Priest?
No.
Because he's the only black writer, right?
Walter Mosley.
Okay.
He actually wrote a Thing series for Marvel about a year ago, but he was brought on as a consultant in one of the Star Trek spinoffs, and 2 white girls went to HR and complained about him being a racist. And because he was basically, keeping it real. Wait a second, I'm a 63-year-old white guy. It just doesn't sound right coming out of my mouth, but I digress. And
you got to say, keeping it hunted.
He basically said, I don't need this shit, and walked out.
yeah, that's hilarious, but also that kind of attitude like they continue on because with Mosley like he's doing what he loves and he wants to be judged based on his merit and character, not by his race. Much like with Priest and Dwayne McDuffie. Like years ago, I didn't know Dwayne McDuffie was black until years later, and that didn't change my attitude towards him. I like Priest and McDuffie because they're talented writer, or who happens to be of this particular demographic.
Yeah, I've actually read a few of Walter Mosley's books. He's good.
Nice.
Oddly enough, I've not read Devil in Blue Dress, but he had a series. He has a character that he writes. He's written several books using this main character. I'm about to look that up, but yeah, I said he's good. I don't think his Thing series was very good,
but he tried.
But if you're gonna give quote unquote a tourist a comic book writing gig, I'd rather it be an actual writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Not a Tumblr writer.
Or like CM Punk. He might be a comic book fan, but that doesn't mean he can write them.
Yeah. Well, really, when you were making that jump from fan to professional, you do need systems of not just the editors, but also besides veteran editors, but veteran writers as well, who will guide you into how to expertly execute the craft, as well as developing your own writing style.
Easy Rollins is the recurring character in his novels. If anybody cares to seek any of them out, Easy Rollins is a black private eye. I think based out of New Orleans, I'm guessing, but
yeah. Rhaegar's asking, so did you already tell us why we need to watch Marvel Zombies? Yeah, in one of the first 2 sentences. I watched it, therefore you watched it. Why do I need to do all the work? Everybody else, I watch this so you don't have to. If I put in the work, you need to put in the work.
Doesn't work that way.
Say again?
Doesn't work that way.
You think so. No, I just wanted to play off the freaking title because, like, God damn, I've seen so many YouTube videos with that on it. I watch this, so you don't have to. I don't want. Okay, you know, congratulations. You turned the channel, you sat your ass down, you stared.
Yeah,
I don't know.
busy watching.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was busy watching the latest comic book aficionados at Wes's channel, as well as his latest comic book recommendations video with Drew. And one of the new releases, besides the High Street issue number 19, is Robert Kirkman's new fantasy series with David Finch called Skybreakers. Wait, no, not the Skybreakers, Skinbreakers.
Pistachio is magic. Superman would have no defense versus the cuteness. There's just way too much cuteness. There you go. Did you see that neither Superman nor Lex Luthor showed up apparently in Peacemaker? Exactly. Yeah. PEACE. Man, you know, I got to stop doing that. My wife talked about how I correct her grammar all the time. Because she says, "Oh, he did good. He did well. He did good. He did well, honey."
She tell you she ain't having that.
Oh, long time ago. Yeah.
Okay, I got a question that one of you smart guys might be able to answer. Okay, tonight Penn State is hosting Oregon. They're having what they call a whiteout. Everybody in the stands is wearing white. Penn State is in black and Oregon is in white. As the kids say, make it make sense.
Okay, that is some.
First time I'm hearing about it.
That is some 100% psyop right there. It sounds like.
Right.
Well, it's not working. They're losing 2 minutes and 40 seconds ago. Yes. And they're number 3 in the country, so this would be an embarrassment.
Are they having a trouble telling who's the crowd and who's the players? That might be it.
They're the only ones not in white.
Yeah.
Vecman, your reading's done. Come on in.
So I managed to. I went out and I just took advantage of a couple of sales to grab some dollar books, some $2 books, $3. I've got a few others that came in. I think I don't have a full auction, but it'll do for a Monday. White isn't my color. I'm more of a red and blue and black guy. Apparently, I'm good. I look good in teal. My wife had to tell me that. There you go. Just sit and do your thing. I managed to get the last issue of the Cloaks and Daggers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, and the last issue of Catwoman. And,
all right.
Yeah. And then I don't know if I'm going to go through all of them individually when I could just go. I decided, what the heck, let's see if some new universe would sell. And I got all sorts of the Justice, the Spitfire, Cyforce, Justice #1, some DP7, Starbrand.
I'm still waiting for a series of Omnibus for New Universe.
I know, right? That would be cool.
Hey, you want a nickel's worth of free advice?
Okay.
Don't use this camera Monday.
Why?
Because it's cloudy. It's like looking through a Coke bottle, playing on a VHS tape on 6-hour speed. It's been recorded over 20 times.
He's not wrong.
Oh, good. My eyes.
You know what? I was looking. There's it's only $22, but somebody mentioned can I get zoom in on stuff? So I looked. There's a $22 camera. It's got zoom. I'll see if I can't get that in. Like I'll buy it tomorrow. So it won't come in time. Yeah, I'm serious.
My stupid Fire Stick's buffering on the Penn State game now.
Not
it won't come back.
I meant to get because they had a lot of the Malibu stuff, but meant to get a lot of that. Here's Nightman. It just says Black September. But I wanted to get I try to get as much Malibu as I can. Apparently, the bird wants to autograph. All right, got a couple more Solar here. All right.
Man,
You're completely frozen again, by the way, so we're not
Yeah.
seeing anything.
God dang it.
Either that or that bird is very well trained.
Well, Malibu has really like a lot of quality books. Books that like people like can read that covers or like different genres of fiction. It's like cross gen. As well as Marvel and DC back then, where they weren't limited to just capes.
I'm gonna disagree a little bit on that. I don't think Malibu is anything to write home about, but the Ultraverse first couple years was very well done.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. I would get as much Ultraverse as I can. I mean, usually it's Mantra, so I try to pay attention to the other stuff. But
yeah, honestly, Mantra was, I think, in the lower half as far as writing, and that's not to take anything away from Mantra because I liked it. I had all the issues, but I think some of the stuff that just really isn't well remembered. Like Firearm was fantastic. That's James Robinson.
Yeah.
Strangers was Steve Englehart. James Hudnall did something. I can't remember. I think maybe
James Hudnall, he did The Solution.
Okay. Who did oh crap.
Well, I know Gerber, he did The Sludge.
Not at all surprised. Which actually is pretty good.
Yeah.
What's the one that Hard Case? Yeah. Who did Hard Case?
Oh wait! I take that back. No, Hard Case. There's like Hudnall did that.
Okay, that sounds right. Man, I love it when E's frozen both audio and visually. We have an intelligent conversation. It's awesome. And I won't have to hear about it until he gets his equipment working again.
Well,
all right.
Well, that's happening. Like it's a blessing in disguise that Mantra or any of the other characters of Malibu's Ultraverse have not been touched on by any of today's creatives, especially for Marvel.
Oh, you ain't kidding. I mean, I'm sorry, you are not kidding. My mom was an English teacher too. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, Rhaegar. Mantra was hot. In context wise, was Eden and Lucas were sharing a body, but Lucas was controlling was in control of the car.
Oh, he's in for the tying touchdown. I need Jay in here.
well, Jackson, you're not wrong. But the reason Marvel bought Malibu Comics was that they want to use their new coloring technology at the time.
Yeah, it was a new thing that I think Zach signed on to, is their color separation that they were wanting.
Oh, they wanted to take advantage of it.
But yeah, and we found out what those characters were like in the hands of Marvel, because that was in 1995. I'm sorry, they were fun at the time, but they aged like
milk.
Thank you. I was gonna do something with milk, but
after that event of Black September, the Ultraverse wasn't the same. So after Marvel bought Malibu.
Yeah, it's because I don't think they were anywhere near as well done as when Marvel UK were using Marvel characters to go with their own creations.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I said I don't know that we had the term cash grab at the time, but that just the Marvel Malibu or Marvel Ultraverse characters kind of seemed like a cash grab with yeah. I mean, a couple characters were used well. Like Black Knight was used well when they did that, but
yeah, for all new Exiles.
But that might have been it. Well, I know Juggernaut did some time over in the Ultraverse, but
yeah,
he might have been the Exiles too, wasn't he? Or...
Yeah. No, Juggernaut, he was in all new Exiles, while Dane, he was part of the new Ultra Force.
That's right. Hey, you fixed your camera.
Okay.
I did. Yeah.
No, it's the computer. It's not able to. I don't think it does too well with. I don't think it does too well with StreamYard after a while.
Did you close out those Ukrainian tabs that you usually have open?
Right. We know that's not. Never mind.
Yeah, why waste a good lie or a good line if Gail's out of earshot?
Right. Very much so. Oh, goodness gracious.
Well, so besides how much of a blessing in disguise that Marvel is not using like Malibu or the Ultraverse, CrossGen, is another like publisher that is not being abused by Marvel.
Yeah, I think they just didn't Marvel buy CrossGen because they wanted to increase their comics that would appeal to young girls.
Yes,
because I know they only used a couple like Mystic and one of the other girl characters, Meridian maybe.
Yeah. Ooh, honestly, and I see that our friend, he brought up some Night Thrasher and John Sable. And Quasar too.
These are all going to be in the dollar books.
Yeah.
When the CrossGen titles were collected, like they actually collected them like in like the small like compact talkabout like format as seeing like what DC's doing.
Don't do that, little man.
So, Dominic, have you picked up any of the DC finest yet?
Let's see. Actually, I picked. Well, I picked up a copy of DC Horror from their finest line.
Okay, cool.
And I was surprised, but a pleasant one was that Spectre has finally been like reprinted after all these years.
Is it from the Silver Age from Adventure?
Yeah, it's the original Silver Age, not Ostrander's run.
Okay.
Well, have you ever read the 10-issue Spectre run?
Yes.
Yeah, in my opinion, it was terrible.
I'm not going to argue with you against that.
But it's still Silver Age DC. I like the few appearances he made outside of that series. Like he did there was a couple Brave and the Bolds and a couple showcases, but man, the regular series was just not really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'd still, if I didn't have the issues, I would still, hop on that in a heartbeat. But because I said there's even the ones that aren't good are fun to read.
Not just fun to read, but they also possess redeemable qualities.
So speaking of redeemable qualities, in case anybody in the audience is planning on bidding Monday night, good luck, and we're all counting on you. But Quasar, saw a couple Quasars. That is one of those series that I wish this industry still did.
Oh, you're not the only one who feels that way.
The early issues, especially because when he was out in space the whole time, and his hot secretary got powers and went off planet with some other chick, and not in a modern Marvel way, but they were just friends. But yeah, but like when there was like an Earthbound supporting cast, I really liked that book.
Same. Yeah. Well, another title that you're continuing on is the New Warriors, and I'm talking about the original New Warriors.
Yeah.
I thought first 25 or so of those I remember really liking. I know it. The Marvel right before Onslaught and the Heroes Reborn, I guess there was some questionable storytelling in those times, and it's like Marvel just had a different feel to it that just I don't know. It seemed like they were trying to do style over substance, but they hadn't recovered from losing all their artists still.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of these days, like we should do a retrospective, like on volume 1 of the New Warriors. Besides covering the first 25.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind talking about it as a whole. Yeah.
I would reach out to Zach and see if he'll come on for a night, because he can take my place, because I could not keep up my end of any New Warriors conversation.
Never heard of it.
Good. That was good. They're superpowered family that basically controlled stuff behind the scenes in the RAF.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, I don't remember that much more about that. I remember it had good art. 6 issues.
No, I remember. No, I remember like seeing the Royals, but I not got a chance to finish it.
You ever heard of Jack Hammer?
Yes.
Really?
Return of the Hero, and they made this look like a beat-up comic, but it is not. That is the art.
I love the tear at the bottom. That is awesome.
Yes, thanks.
Dominic, I probably asked you this before, but I certainly don't have this because I'm asking you again. But do you have some kind of photographic or eidetic memory?
Like I have a good memory. Yeah.
That's obvious, but I mean, that's because it seems like you remember. Like I said, I don't remember shit anymore.
It comes with age. It really does.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know.
That's where eidetic
is going to help. But
I mean, as for like the eidetic part, like you could say that. But well, like I said, like I love reading history, and also I'm a big reader.
Go to watch some of the earlier videos, and I have got a steel trap memory, and you can actually watch it go away over the last 8 years. It's sad. It's a sad feature.
That's the sad part.
It's a sad feature of the channel that you can actually watch my memory slowly go away.
You can sit there and install.
Somebody requested these. All I know is, thank God, I've got my hearing and at least my sense of smell. My dad lost his sense of smell, but I got that. So still. All right, somebody requested these, so somebody better gosh darn. Say again?
Wait, how do you lose your sense of smell?
Well, napalm. Be too close to napalm when it lands.
Ah, ouch.
Or COVID.
Well, actually, yeah, I heard that did as well, but his was in Vietnam.
But speaking of, when I had COVID, and like I said, I've had worse colds, but that's neither here nor there. And I realized I got lucky because I said I'm old and out of shape and blah blah blah. But I lost my sense of taste during an auction and got it back before the auction ended. He was like, you know what? Dan Slott's run of Spider-Man was good. I really
wait a second. No, it wasn't.
I really did enjoy Full House. Wait a minute, I actually did enjoy Full House. No, but the smell went for about 2 days, But I lost my sense of taste for about 4 hours. And that kind of reminded how long those auctions used to be in 2020.
I know, right? They usually ran 5 to 6 hours easy. Okay, so like I said, somebody requested these. I forget who. So gosh darn it, somebody buy these. I've got the Grimjacks, issue number 3. God dang it, Bird, get on my shoulder and stop. I said shoulder.
No,
Bite my hands.
that goes to the head. Now, Grimjack. When I was visiting one of my local comic book stores, I found some good quality, thick, like omnibuy by like a Grimjack. Also for John Sable. Yeah, and they're actually like again like they're formatted and compacted as manga. But you still read them like from left to right and not right to left as you would do it with manga.
Yeah. So I got a full lot of Grimjack, 10 issues. God dang it, Bird.
Nice. Plus like the omnibuy for. Oh yeah, plus like the omnibuy for Sable and Grimjack, the price is cheap.
Hey, blame me, TV Jackson. I had nothing to do with that. Are those Grimjacks in succession, or are they all over the series?
No. Grimjacks. Oh wait,
talk about the
me
ones
or him?
29, 21, 20, 17, 13, 12. 11, 10, 8, and 3. So somewhat.
I'm going to say that well, not that hard to track down. Now I kind of like the series all the way through. Buddy of mine was a huge Grimjack fan, but I can absolutely go to bat for the ones with Truman.
Yeah,
because before he left to do Scout. Because those issues of Grimjack are incredible. God, people forget how good
Nexus Origin
worked for a few years.
Oh, nice.
I mistook this for Superboy Zero. It's Adventures of Superman 501. And
what I missed seeing with
$2.
What I missed seeing from Valiant. After it made its comeback, they were actually reprinting original Valiants, but suddenly they just decided to stop doing it.
We know you lost sense of taste when you didn't give us the Wilma report. Well, he lost access to the Wilma of the Wilma report.
Well, yeah, they took it off. First, they moved it to 6 a.m, and we thought about, can we make these auctions last that long? Fortunately, smarter heads prevailed.
Yeah, especially as I run with the 12 gangs. Yeah, I try to actually make the auctions as quick as possible now because after a while we start losing people anyway around midnight, and so the sweet spot seems to be 9 to midnight. In all honesty. That's why I always have dollar book for the first 3. There you go. All right, Secret Origins. I want to get a few more of these if I can. I like those. Some Superboy, the Connor Kent run. There you go.
Apparently, I must have missed the Wilma report when I lost my sense of taste that night.
Runaways. I haven't had Runaways in forever. This issue number 3. So I actually have no idea how this will do. Here's issue number 8. Then it takes a little jump. 18, 19, 20. I remember the first batch of Runaways was good. And then the second volume, third volume or something, people kind of turned on. I don't know if that's going to taint it for the original run. That was 21, 22, 23. But I have the little digest trades on these. It's a good story. 28, 27. There we go. on the other hand, though, the one thing I don't like about it is regular superheroes are like, okay, runaway children, I'm glad I met you, and now I'm off to beat the next bad guy. Good luck. No. Captain America is not going to meet a bunch of kids. One of them's only 5 years old and not get child freaking services in on it, you know. So that was the one thing I didn't like. Okay, excuse me, guys.
Well, really, like with
you guys
with Runaways, like people. Sure.
I'll be right back. I need to take care of a little man here.
Well, to touch more on Runaways, people like jumped ship from the series when it came back, and Rainbow Rowell was the new writer.
I know the first series, the one that Brian K. Vaughan wrote, was good.
Yeah.
After that,
yeah, no, it's still good.
It became a Lebediqua poster book, and pretty much lost track of everything else. And so and then, like I said, that became just another modern Marvel SJW book. So that's.
Well, again, like this happened with the fourth volume of Runaways with Rainbow Rowell. It really like it did. Rowell's run like didn't help matters either.
Oh wow, this is getting interesting. So we're not. Nobody's going to talk while E's gone, and we're just going to tell him that we entertained you guys. And Jackson, I know you have a thing for Roseanne. It's all right. That's a good question, MK. Neither one of them seem to remember how to lose anymore. So, and Toronto has a tiebreaker. So if they both win tomorrow, Toronto gets the division. Apparently, they went 8-5 against the Yankees during the season. So that's.
Oh, I didn't know the Yankees were playing today.
Yeah, they pounded Baltimore again.
All right. Oh well, see. No worries. See, anyway, with the Runaways, yeah. Well, Volume 1, well, like it still like holds up. Volumes 2 and 3, at least like they were able to continue the momentum for Volume 4 with Rowell. Really, like it's a shame what happened to the characters years later.
Oh goodness gracious!
Yeah, I don't even know who was still around by the time Rainbow Rowell started writing, but I know that Carolina, Dean, and the Skrull that turned himself into a chick because she was gay. Yeah, that seemed like that's all they cared about in the series.
Which is very not only reductive thinking but also very narrow-minded and short-sighted.
Oh, can y'all hear my fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me turn that off.
Not a bother.
Not really. Well, even though now with Vaughn, like his quality as a writer like did decline as time went on. So nowadays he's rather hit or miss.
I've never read an issue of Saga. I know that, but
I read two.
Well, the consensus is the saga started out strong, but then when the second half happened, and like things went downhill from there.
It kind of went into woke territory.
I heard
you
that.
can see this, yeah, and it
Yeah,
went
and again,
hard into woke territory.
Yeah, and again, like it's sad. It's sad to know like that this was done like under Brian K. Vaughan through his hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I loved Why the Last Man, by the way, and that had its moments, but at least the story was there. But yeah,
It wasn't preachy, and less said about the TV show adaptation, the better.
yeah, I didn't care for it.
Yeah, because I had a feeling that like once Why the Last Man like reached its conclusion, I actually did not want to see it like be adapted into live action because I had a gut feeling that someone would screw it up and miss the point of the series.
These are all from 170 to 190. It's a full lot, so it's 10 issues. And this is the pre-52 Flash. It's actually the pre-52 Flash. So.
It's still pre-New 52, but that run of Flash was still good.
Yeah. Let's see, I don't know if you guys would be interested in these, but I decided, what the heck, give it a try. But this is Aracel. It's Elf Lord at 17, issue number 12. This is volume 2, issue number 2, issue number 6.
Oh, Elf Lord.
Yep.
Oh,
and
that's nice.
Number 21, Magnus Robot Fighter, issue number 25. Something called Legacy, issue number 1. And American Lost in America, issue number 1. Oh wait, these are, yeah, okay, okay. The preview for The Power of Shazam from 1994. And then
right.
Magnus Robot Fighter, issue number 8. Some 0 to 10 Magnus. Strangers, issue number 1 from the Ultraverse.
Talk about them.
Captain America, issue number 444. And Justice League Dark Zero. All right. Dun dun. Woof. That's basically a movie about a robot passing the Turing test. Wait, what is it? So yeah, pre-Crisis Flash, the Barry Allen stuff. I've never watched it, but Robert Meyer Burnett won't stop talking about it. AI of all people like the movie. My film teacher showed me. What are we talking about? One life from there's a moment. I don't know what movie y'all are talking about. I got some Team America.
Movie, Her.
Oh, okay. That was all right. That was pretty good. Issue number 12, and then some Team America issue number 7, and issue number 9, because you need those motorcycles. This is a double-sized issue of the NAM. I guess they're going to talk about the monks that burn themselves. Well, thank you, Alexa. Legion of Superheroes, issue number 1. If we knew your starting point, we could find out where you live there, Dom. Legion of Superheroes 309. And then Impulse, number 5. Number 6. By the way, this is awesome shit right here. This is a really good series. And here's issue number 7, number 14, number 16, number 18, number 11. All right, good stuff. E, are you going to watch him? Is there him? Oh, yeah, if I get a chance, I want to see that movie. Why not? I heard it was bad. So, that's good. But no, I did hear it was not good. So, yeah, I'll check it out. Why not? Mind control football player. Let's go. All righty, we got the Atom, from the 2000s. This is issue number 1 and issue number 5. I love the covers on this series. Issue number 6, issue number 7, issue number 8, number 9, number 10. Have you ever read this series? Number 11 and 12.
Yeah, yes, I have. Yeah, I read this series.
Was it good?
Yeah. Yeah, it reminded me of previous like runs, like with the Atom, of course with Ryan Palmer and now Ryan Choi.
MK saying him has to be better than they them at least. Did you see that movie? I thought I was the only one who watched they them.
No, I avoided it.
Oh my gosh, it was some of the funniest crap. It really was. It not intentionally.
No, but I want to ask you, like, out of all the Atoms, like, who's your favorite? Like, the original or his successors?
Out of all the Atoms?
There have been more than 2?
Yeah.
Who are than Ray and Ryan?
Al Pratt?
Oh, Golden Age. Okay, all right. I was not thinking in those terms. Ray, it's I tend to stick with the originals. Although
that would be Al Pratt.
Yes, and well, the original Silver Age versions. I mean, I just say, like, although I do like Kyle better than Hal, but at least for about 10 years.
I've never read the new guy.
Barry.
I never read the new guy, so I would have to say Ray Palmer. But I got to tell you, I love the covers. I want to read the Silver Age stuff just based on the covers alone, but I haven't really read the Atom, to tell you the truth. I've never read the new one, and I only read I read Power of the Atom, but I never read the original Silver Age Atom.
Have you read any issues of the Silver Age Atom?
Oh, y'all said something at the same time. What were you saying, Dom?
Well, I read Sword of the Atom.
Yeah, I read Sword of the Atom and Power of the Atom. What was your question, Eric?
Have you read any issues of the Silver Age Atom?
I read the first meeting between him and Hawkman. I had that issue for a while before I needed the money enough to sell it.
Okay, well, if you just read a random issue of the Silver Age Atom, you've read them all.
Okay. Alrighty. Infinite Crisis, Secret Files, and Origins.
Best Secret Files and Origins book DC ever did.
Legion of Superheroes 300. Best
Legion 300 they ever did.
I agree. Superboy and the Legion 217.
I agree too.
Mystique, issue number 13.
Didn't
Mystique issue number. Yep. Except for these are saying McKeever. That was Vaughn. This is McKeever. This is issue number 14. And then issue number 22. Issue number 23. Issue number 24. And Emma Frost, issue number 11. Issue number 12. Issue number 13. Issue number 14. Issue number 15. Issue number 16. And I don't know. I'm going to sell these 2 issues together to make a $3 package. But I've got issue number 1 and 2 of John Sable. Yay. And then I have issue number 1 and 2 of Dakota North.
I like that series.
Dakota North.
Yeah, same here.
It only lasted 5 issues, but it was fun.
Yeah, and the character herself, she's criminally underrated.
I like the bratty kid.
Yeah. Yeah,
I can't remember who he was related to, but he was.
Well, I don't know. A lot of times I have some of these. No, I'll get to them. Beauty and the Beast, Portrait of Love, for those of you who might remember the TV show from 40 years ago. And here's Beauty and the Beast, Night of Beauty. Tales of the Teen Titans, annual number 3. I have never heard of this before, but it's called Alter Ego, issue number 1.
It was about a kid that he somehow got the powers of a character in a comic book and had to go transport into the world of that comic book to save like a princess or something like that. It's a Roy Thomas book. And I'm sure it was, if you notice the font, it's the same, I think, as the Alter Ego magazine.
Ah, okay.
Which is also Roy's.
All right. There was Magnus issue number 8. Here's issue number 7. The Avengers issue number 224.
Nice.
The Avengers issue number 226. Warlord issue number 3.
Cool.
Superman and Arion. This is issue number 75 of DC Comics Presents.
Nice.
And then the Global Guardians team up with Superman and DC Presents issue number 46. And then Green Lantern in issue number 6. That might be a $5 book. But so might these. I'm going to look them up and see where I want to put them. This is Ms. Marvel, issue number 10. The one with Rogue, or one of the 2 with Rogue. Here's issue number 12. Here's issue number 17. For those of you who don't know, yes, this is how they used to dress Ms. Marvel. Issue number 20. Issue number 21. Issue number 23. Issue number 29. Issue number 30. And issue number 31. There you go. Let's see. Oh, God, that Men movie was so bad. Oh, okay. The Men. Oh, okay. Yeah, that horror film that came out like 2 years ago. Yeah, I never even wanted to watch it based on the premise. It just didn't seem like it would be good to me. Alrighty, I got Superman Annual number 2.
Cool.
Superman Annual number 9. And this one may be a $5 book also. Superman Annual number 1 with Titano. And then we got Thor issue number 324. And issue number 326. 327. 328. 329. 331. 332. 334. 335. And 336. There we go. Man, bad. Fire. Bad. Man, we lost a treasure when Phil Hartman got killed.
I'm surprised that Thunderstrike has yet to receive an omnibus.
Oh, you would think. Let's see. Yeah, there's a bunch of good books. You know what? That is a tier list. That's a top 10. Books that haven't gotten the omnibus that should. Let's see. See, here's the thing. I don't know if I would honestly tell someone not to watch a movie, but I would tell you not to pay for it if I think it's especially egregious. No, I mean, it costs nothing to put the movie on a streaming service that you're already paying for. Well, I mean, it costs that, but put it on 15 minutes, doesn't catch you. Yeah. MK says, who had the first trans character in comics, DC or Marvel, and who was it? I don't get it. No. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't pay attention to that. Yeah. Wait for on streaming. Yeah, I have no idea, MK. Seriously, don't. This is kind of a Marvel pamphlet they put out. It's called All About Collecting Comic Books. It's from 1992. And then we have
a second one.
They did a second one?
No, I didn't know they did one because there was one in 84 with Alpha Flight on the cover. It was an insert.
Huh. And Sin City, Lost, Lonely, and Lethal. We have Sin City, Sex and Violence. Rawhide Kid, issue number 142.
Hey.
Hi. And then Scalp Hunter. This is Weird Western Tales, issue number 68. I like the fact that Scalp Hunter gets love around these parts. It's not just the Jonah Hex of all.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have entered into big dog territory a little bit. Nope, still on the fives. Magnus Robot Fighter, issue number 6. And issue number 4. And then we have James Bond, Permission to Die, issue number 1 and 2. By Mike Grell. And then Captain America throws his mighty shield. 4 men, 1 legend. Captain America. Today, all 4 put the legend to the test. That's annual number 6. And then we have Cat and Mouse, issues number 1 and 2. And Ghost Rider, issue number 48. That might be a little bit more. It might go to the big dogs. Grim Jack, issue number 75. It's a prestige format, double size thingamajigger. Fred Hembeck sells the Marvel Universe. Impulse, issue number 1. And then Love That Panther, Love the Panther, Love That Panther. For those of you who like Fanta, you know what I'm talking about. But here's issues number 1 and 2. Ms. Marvel, issue number 9. And Ms. Marvel, issue number 24. And the first appearance of Baz, I think it is, the Green Lantern. This is the new 52. Number 1 right there. All right. When the moon blew up, couldn't get the... Wait, what? Somebody's... Giffen had the first trans character in his LSH. Siobhan Aaron was actually Sean Element Ladd's girlfriend. When the moon blew up, couldn't get the sex change anymore. Okay. Who had more successful popular books, Frank Miller or Alan Moore? Frank Miller. I think maybe... Hold on, let's talk about this. Yeah, Miracle Man, Swamp Thing.
But he also did Captain Britain.
Captain Britain, okay, he was on that for a little bit, but that was only popular in England.
Look, the one thing he had here that matched anything was Watchmen, but Miller had Daredevil, Dark Knight Returns, Batman Year One, Ronin. So I would say Miller had a more successful decade of the 80s.
Give Me Liberty and Big Guy and Rusty.
Yeah, but those weren't popular. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So 5 for Alan Moore.
Well, 6 because Alan Moore he didn't take over or Supreme at Image.
That was in the mid to late 90s.
And he did put a timetable on it, but was Supreme really popular? I mean, the ones I mentioned were Swamp Thing obviously was popular, and Miracle Man took off when it came over here. The Watchmen, V for Vendetta, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, you could say 1 and 2, so that's 6. From Hell. So that's 7.
What about Prometheus? What about Prometheus top 10?
Yeah, they're good, but they weren't top. They were great for the Alan Moore fans, but it spread out beyond that. But he's got 7 now. Frank Miller had the Daredevil run, and then he went over in Dark Knight Returns. But then again, you got to think, how many issues was Alan Moore's run and how many issues was Frank Miller's run? But he had the Dark Knight Returns. He had Sin City.
Yeah, he's also done Give Me Liberty.
Would you consider those popular, the Give Me Liberties? Like beyond just the fans? Was Give Me Liberty? Because he also had Ronin, which I think is great, but I don't think Ronin was a very popular, was it? For its time, was it popular? Do you remember?
At the time, yes.
Okay, so we popped that in there. Give Me Liberty. Well, it was popular enough to get like 5 different things.
Yeah.
If you count individual Sin City books, yeah, I guess Frank Miller gets it.
Well, also we cannot forget like Wolverine done by him and Claremont.
Okay. Reading your comment made me drink fly out of my nose. You drink a fly out of your nose? That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, and the Wolverine, right? Dark Admiral's brain. Yeah, it's Frank Miller. All righty, and these are going to be some of the big dogs. Some of the ones that were $5 may be big. They might change. I'm going to actually look these up. This is volume 1 of Dark Horse's Arcadia, the week 1. You know that they do the issues. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, under their Comics' Greatest World.
Right. That's volume 1. Then I have Species issue number 2, or is that 3? Issue number 3. And that's going to go along with issue number 1. And we have Rawhide Kid, issue number 144 and 143. West Coast Avengers ongoing series, number 1. Erbo the Duck. Punisher Wolverine African Saga. Yes, another one. I had one from last week too. I was able to get a couple. Dark Claw. The first appearance of Ninjak, which actually might make its way into the $5 books. But these are the cameo and the full appearance. Magnus Robot Fighter, issue number 2. Another probably, I think this is my last copy because I managed to get a group of them in one collection. Ariella, number 1, the Warrior Nun. A couple more amalgams. Got Amazon and Super Soldier. This one is cool, guys. This one is cool. This is an issue of Quasar where all of the fastest characters in the Marvel Universe have a race. And right at the very end, here comes this big old red streak. I'm going to show it to you guys. This is what makes this a valuable comic. Right at the end of the race, they see a red streak pass by them and cross the finish line. And this guy shows up. And now, naturally, they can't call him who he is. So, but the dialogue is, wait a minute, I can't even remember who I am. All I remember is there's this ball of energy, like lightning, filling me with the need to move. And it kind of alludes to the fact that it's the Flash. So Flash shows up in Marvel Comics. They just couldn't call him the Flash. And that's what makes this the valuable comic that it is. Alrighty.
What also it showcases because of what happened to Barry after the events of Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Right, yes. And yeah, Eric missed the haze on the last two Rawhide Kids. There you go. Alrighty, and the final, the biggest of the big dogs, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to look it up, see what it's going to be at. But what I hold in my hands, ladies and gentlemen, is the very first comic book appearance of Jason Voorhees. Bum, bum, bum. It's Secret Six number 4. I kid you not. That's like a $20 book. So there you go. But those are the books that are going to be in the auction. I'm going to be getting some more. Hopefully you guys saw something worth it. But I am so interested in that Secret Six. That just looks really cool. All righty. Oh my! I'm actually surprised it was his first appearance is in a book like the Secret Six. I don't know. Did I lose you guys?
The more you know.
The more you know. Yeah. It was. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Oh my goodness. There we go. But no, I was happy to be able to get that one. Seriously. Alrighty. So what else? Nope. Let's see. At Dominic. Oh, hey, wanted to ask you guys, did they ever do Game of Thrones tie-in? Yeah, they did the books. They didn't do the TV show.
Yeah,
they
adapted the books. Fire, only for the books.
Yeah. Which
and that was Dynamite.
Yeah. I read the comics. I never read the novels. And it made me like the TV show more. There's some changes I'm glad they made in the TV show. Like the Hound dies way too soon. I like him as a character, so when he dies in the books, thinking, no, he's supposed to go all the way to the end. That's just ridiculous. Don't kill him off. Yeah. But that happens a lot in books. It's like they make sometimes the TV show, the charisma of the actor makes the character a little bit more likable.
Yeah, but that's a rather consistent critique on George Orwell.
Oh, well, that happened.
I'll be back as soon as I finish this mouthful of popcorn.
Dom just dropped out. I thought my internet was doing too bad. That's what happened with Braun too. Oh, okay. Oh, Braun, right. Braun the Broken is he gets killed. I didn't make it all the way to the end there. Huh. I think also the redheaded free man that likes Brienne of Tarth, he dies early as well, huh? Have a good night, Jim. Take care. Be safe. Oh my goodness gracious! If farmer's market seller I go to was excited to show me the first comic appearance of Bart Simpson. I don't remember what comic it was, but he showed me the panel, and he's a cameo. Huh. Well, I know that the first comic book appearance of The Simpsons is a magazine, unless somebody just kind of drew them in. But then the first in comics is Simpsons Comics and Stories. I don't know if he dies. I just meant the character just is more. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All righty. And how is that popcorn? He says, not having a topic.
See, if you guys were football fans, we could talk about the two massive road wins that occurred 3 minutes apart tonight.
Who was playing?
Alabama won at Georgia.
Oh,
and the Penn State Oregon game. Or in overtime, you basically start at the 25, and the first overtime, you score extra point. After 2 overtimes, you have to go for 2. Well, they went for 2. Oregon scored to go up by 6. Went for 2, threw an interception. So basically, all Penn State had to do was score and kick the extra point. So Penn State said, "Hey, that interception thing looks cool. I think I'll try that." And yeah, so I mean, you may not get 2 bigger road wins this year, and they happen within 3 minutes of each other.
All right. I'm not the biggest of college football fan, but I have been watching as many. I'm not saying I'm watching them all. I know I've missed a couple. I tried to keep up, but I'm watching as many as I can. But sometimes it's just like, I don't care about these 2 teams, so I'm not interested in watching a game with them. Here's a question for you guys. Crossovers you'd love to see. I'd like to see Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, or Harry Potter, or how about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Transporters? A crossover that I would love to see. Well, I'm still waiting for a Superman Batman movie. Just kidding.
Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. Wow.
Well, think of something that is actual of interest with you. I
don't know. When I think of that, I think of wow. I guess I really don't give that much thought.
It'd be cool to see Rooster Cogburn go after Josie Wales. I mean, not now, because both Jeff Bridges and Clint Eastwood are way past their movie prime.
How about the Man with No Name teaming up with Harry Callahan?
Alrighty, I don't know how you would do the time travel, but okay. Rock on.
It's entertainment. You figure out a way.
Yeah, now you're talking. Jack Burton teams up with Snake Plissken. That might actually be an interesting one to go to. Yeah. Jason versus Freddy Part 2, says Rhaegar. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, Breed loves the fantasy TV shows. How about Dirty Harry versus John Wick? Now, Keanu hasn't completely aged himself out, but you couldn't do Dirty Harry with Clint Eastwood. The man's he's almost 100 years old.
He's 95. I mean, that's
yeah.
It would have been cool to see, Harry Callahan teaming up with whatever Bronson's character's name was in the Death Wish movies. Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider. There you go. But it'd have to be Harrison Ford and Angelina Jolie.
There you go.
Just use CGI.
I had no problem with the Chris Pratt takeover. I thought when they said, well, Chris Pratt could do Indiana Jones, I was like, you know what? He could.
Yeah.
I would actually have Harry Callahan go after Charlie Bronson. Because Dirty Harry, yeah, he shoots him, but he is a cop. And Charlie Bronson is not. So while it is criminals that are dying, it's still against the law. I think that's how I would write that.
God, it's been so long since I've seen a death wish. I forgot that he wasn't a cop.
Yeah, he was just a regular guy.
Huh.
Bruce Willis's Dirty Harry was actually a pretty good one as well. But yeah, that's how I would write that movie. I would actually have Callahan go after Charlie Bronson, and it would be a thing where he's going after a certain set of people that did some sort of horrible crime. Callahan has to put everything together before everybody is dead. And I would actually have Callahan fail. He might bring in Charlie Bronson. He might bring in the character from Dirty Harry, but not until after all the bad guys are done. So we actually get to see both of them do what they do best. And in maybe even just for fun, at the end, you have the standoff between the two of them, and Callahan puts them down.
Okay, Austin's saying that he put something in Discord last week. I'm not on Discord anymore, but portrays Lord of the Rings in a way that I would find hilarious. Which brings me to some of the things. One of the new great time sucks on YouTube are the different I know what you're gonna say. Star Trek is trapped in Miami in the 80s, and they're all running around like Miami Vice characters, or redneck Star Trek or redneck Avengers. I saw that one, which I think are hysterical. But you know what I really like? One channel does casts Avengers and Justice League movies in each decade.
Yeah,
I just love those.
Errol Flynn as Hawkeye was I was like, okay,
what was that? Avengers in the 40s?
In the 40s, 30s.
Seen that 40s. One because, but see, like the Avengers in the 60s, I thought was pretty interesting. But yeah, those fascinate me. And
now, how would you cast that? I mean, I know you saw it, but how would you cast that? Because the first thing that popped in my head was Newman as Captain America.
They had Redford.
Redford?
Yeah. Okay. Newman was, I believe, Tony Stark.
Okay.
If I'm remembering correctly. Christopher Lee was Doctor Strange. And when they did Justice League in the 90s, Christopher Lee was Alfred.
There you go.
But
so I'm pretty sure they're limited by the amount of, just because they got to pop up the same people.
Well, yeah, and they also got to be people you recognize. Like Lee Marvin was Nick Fury, which I could go along with that. Shoot, I don't know.
I would point out to Austin that Harrison Ford was not weathered when he first took the role of Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford had done American Graffiti, at that point, I guess it would have been two Star Wars films, and Force 10 from Navarone.
And there's an episode of Bonanza where he's one of the cow thugs.
Now I'm getting cigarette smoke. Is it actually smoking? No, it's coming from outside. Somebody's smoking outside my window here. Casting Call used to be one of my favorite segments in Wizard Magazine.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Let's see. They've been doing that for about a year. Yeah, they're cute. I've seen a couple of them. Though, like they did the X-Men and Anne Margaret was Ms. Marvel. And I thought, yeah, okay. I could see that. But young Anne Margaret. Yeah. Let's see. Who would you like? Straight up. You got the 1980s. Who would you cast as the Punisher? Not Dolph Lundgren.
No, first I would say, I'm not saying Anne Margaret was hot. in the early 60s, but when she was making Bye Bye Birdie, Paul Lynde declared himself straight.
Yeah. Got that movie, by the way. Not that probably doesn't surprise you at all.
I've seen that movie. Does that surprise you?
Yes. I guess it's the Anne Margaret of it all.
No, I actually am not anywhere near as enamored with her as most people are. I like her, but I think she was more of a cute girl next door than an actual beauty. Like, we lost an actual beauty this week, Claudia Cardinal. But I think Anne Margaret was just like the quintessential cute girl next door, and that's not, and that's okay.
Being the fan of classic movies and musicals that I am very excited. A guy got a booth. He sells movies at the flea market I'm at, but he sells old films, and he's got Yankee Doodle Dandy and Meet Me in St. Louis. He sells them for $5 each, and I want to be the owner of those movies because Yankee Doodle Dandy is $5 in the wrapper. It's brand new. But you mother got me stuck on that Meet Me in St. Louis. Never saw it, and you mentioned it, and I watched it. I was like, this is fantastic.
No, Austin, Zach, in his infinite weirdness, doesn't think Michelle Pfeiffer's attractive. I think Anne Margaret's attractive as hell. But I don't think she's a classic beauty as much as I always thought she was, cute. And I like cute, but I'm saying like Raquel Welch was beautiful. Natalie Wood was beautiful. And to me, Anne Margaret was just really, really cute. And actually kind of like that better because I equate cute with spunk and being vivacious and just it. She had it, and whatever it is, Anne Margaret had it in spades. And Roger Smith was one lucky son of a bitch. But
was it? My granddad we were watching TV, and one of those what was it? The Joe Folgers came up. Good to Last Drop, or something like that.
Yeah.
And he told me.
Oh no, Taster's Choice was Good to the Last Drop. Folgers was the best part of Waking Up.
Okay, yeah, he mentioned that, and he goes, Joe DiMaggio used to do these commercials, and he'd say, "This is the best thing I've ever tasted," and he goes, Joe DiMaggio was married to somebody, I forget. God damn it, I lost it. I'm ruining my own joke.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, he says Joe DiMaggio was married to Marilyn Monroe. He tasted better. My granddad corrupted the shit out of him.
There was I can't remember what the content. There's a picture of Joe DiMaggio doing one of his Mr. Coffee commercials. Mm-hmm. He goes, "I used to wake up next to Marilyn Monroe, and now I'm waking up to this shit."
Right, the best part of waking. I recently seen the Spider-Man Mary Jane publicity stunt marriage at Shea Stadium. I actually think the actress who played her in that looks more like Mary Jane than even Anne Margaret. But Kirsten Dunst.
Back to Marilyn and Joe for a moment. There was a story where Marilyn Monroe came back from one of her European trips, and she's gushing him. She goes, "Joe, mm-hmm. The crowds, the adulation. You've never seen anything like it." And he just looks at her and goes, "Yes, I have." Because he was, Joe DiMaggio. He was Joe fucking DiMaggio. He was bigger in his line of work than she was in hers. That's how big Joe DiMaggio was. Now, he'd already been retired for 3 years when
her line of work. She wanted her line of work to be movie star, but her line of work was Marilyn Monroe.
Well, she was also a pretty big movie star, but yes.
Well, she was, but
okay, both
she
of
was
them
more of a celebrity. She was, you know.
And this, well, okay, I'll try to put in this context. Marilyn Monroe was a major movie star, but Marilyn Monroe was still bigger than her career as a movie star. The same as Joe DiMaggio, who was one of the greatest players who ever lived, but the aura that was Joe DiMaggio transcended baseball, just like Marilyn Monroe transcended her movies. So she was as much famous for being Marilyn Monroe as any of her roles, whereas Joe DiMaggio, kind of the same thing. And that's probably why they didn't make it. I mean, she ended up, I don't know if Joe DiMaggio ever remarried after that, but I think she moved on to, what was it, the playwright, Miller.
Oh, yeah. The Crucible guy. Crucible.
What the hell was his name?
Tim Miller. I don't know.
No, it wasn't Tim.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, he wrote The Crucible. It's that guy. I don't know.
I keep wanting to say Marvin, but that was a baseball figure.
That's a Danny DeVito's Beast. Let's see. You know who had it since the 90s and still looks good? Jennifer Connelly. Yeah, she does. Diane Lane also, by the way. She's more 80s, but yeah.
Arthur
Miller. Yes. Okay. I can picture Danny DeVito as MODOK. That'd be okay. I don't know. Anyway, kids. Going ahead, finish up, and then let's call it 2 hours.
Didn't Marvin Miller?
Marvin Miller?
Yeah. Danny DeVito and Gregory Peck were in a movie together.
Other People's Money.
Yeah, thank you.
He was the business guy. Well, you do remember, I may have not told you, I was a projectionist in the 90s.
You don't say.
I do say all
and quite often.
Time, apparently. Yeah. Anyway, it was Danny DeVito was like Richard Gere in Pretty Woman, where he was one of those people who bought companies and tore them apart. And he came in and everybody was trying to fight the deal. And he said, you guys make copper wiring. And he says, it's going the way of the dodo. Let me tell you about fiber optics. That's the new thing. That's the thing that we should be making here. And of course, they start making that instead and save the factory because Danny DeVito fell in love with Penelope Ann Miller. It was actually a good movie. I enjoyed that one. Man, I got to start up my doing those movies. Would you like to join me for a live stream where I talk about the top 10 1970s movies?
Depends on the time.
I'm not kidding. Well, I'm not talking about right now.
No, I know, but I said, yeah.
But
October is people like this. Said, what scary movies do you like? I don't watch any because it's playoffs.
I know.
Yeah. Yes, I mean it's.
Well, I think I would be willing to do. I'd be willing to do them while the playoffs are going on and everything. I would be willing to do them on nights that we don't have cover rankings after all the games.
Well, play it by ear. So,
yeah.
I'll start thinking about like what 70s movies that I would put on that list. But
I put together a top 10 list for every year. I was going to do this and I never did because I'm lazy as when it comes to making videos. Also, videos don't really do well on this channel. I did on my other computer, I've got links to a movie channel that I started, but haven't done anything with. So I thought, okay, I'll do it on there just for fun. And I also wanted to catch up to this year's movies and everything. But I thought that would you guys like to check that kind of stuff out? I asked the chat. But yeah, I've got 1970, 1971, 1972, and I've got put together a couple of videos of all the movies I've watched, and they're all in order from worst to best. I got to admit, though, some of the worst aren't really bad. It's just I can't tell you. I know I saw them, just can't tell you anything about it. I mean, it's been 50 years for the 70s, or at least 40 years for a lot of the movies that I've seen. But yeah.
I just realized that the newest movie in my top 10 is 43 years old now.
Well, I know you don't like them, but I put all three together and make the Lord of the Rings trilogy one movie because it is. But you haven't even seen them.
I don't care. They would put me to sleep. I'm not a fantasy guy. It's like my mom used to say. Mom didn't like seafood. Said, doesn't matter how you dress it up, it's still seafood. I said, well, can't argue with that.
So what do we got coming from you, boy? Old at Heart, comics are for the young at heart. That was today. Cancel culture returns. The pendulum has swung. Sad old men without celebrity gossip or Disney. That's the Nerdrotic after reading this article. Inspirational and moving message. Okay.
And a couple.
I was looking to see if there's anything.
It is community post where he attacks Wes because that's. Richard is that sad old man now.
How do you get tired of something that isn't remotely true? Sounds like you're just saying what depressed middle-aged conservatives want you to say. I've heard them do that. It's really weird.
Yeah, I said using really conservatives as a pejorative. I said, I said he's more successful than I'll ever be. He's got more money than I'll ever have. But leave the house once in a while, Zach, other than to go walk around your yard. And you see that these people aren't depressed. They're actually having fun. They're actually out there meeting other people and finding out. I said, Zach gets all his opinions from 5 people on TikTok and the 30 people that he hasn't muted in his comments section. Yeah, he's also now on his way down to 88,000 because he's like 89.8 now. So I said I said I can't. Yeah, you've seen that soy whack site, haven't you? It's this guy that basically his whole Twitter channel is taking shots at Richard. Were you? I can't remember if I mentioned it here or on the Geeky Puppet Show when he said Richard C. Meyer is the one dick that Max Visaggio can't get rid of.
Yeah. Wow. He attacks this girl has nothing to do with anything. Something Jester Bell or something.
Yeah, Jester Bell. She's got a channel. She's sick of it all. I mean, I said, not all of us go through life singing that song from the first Lego movie because we don't think everything is awesome.
You don't have insiders. You have people with a grudge who know that you will repeat what they say without question. Look, I like I said before, I actually agree with them on a lot of the Nerdrotic shit with what was it? Guy who hates things for a living hated this. Okay, yeah, that's how. If you tell me that that Gary and what is the other one? Film Threat. You tell me they didn't like a movie. I'm just gonna shrug and go, okay, what else is new? It's Friday. The new movie's out. Of course they don't like it. I'm not gonna be shocked. That's their brand. So I agree with that. But the way he goes about it, the way it just going after random people for saying what he said 3 years ago about the same stuff, and now all of a sudden, I don't know, maybe it's not Trump derangement syndrome, it's Gary derangement syndrome. Yeah, sure, I'm not going to listen to Gary review a movie and think, okay, yeah, he's keeping an open mind or anything, but that doesn't mean I'm going to throw away everything the man says. Zach, freaking Richard seems to be doing exactly that. Sorry, Rich, you had the same fucking opinions, and now you just turned. Maybe you got overdosed on stuff, but you know what? A lot of this also is the fucking bed he made. I saw how the pie was fixed, guys, and I'm telling you, he went out and he picked fucking fights and then came back and said, hey, look what this person said to me. He did what Ethan Van Sciver does. Anyway, go on ahead. I'm sorry, guys.
To me, okay, I said, Gary, doesn't like a lot of stuff that's out now. Good for him.
Yeah.
Gary gets to go on Piers Morgan.
Yep.
On a semi-regular basis. He has been the guest on Creature Features more than once. That's a fun little show.
Mm-hmm.
So it's his shtick. It works for him. Now,
yeah.
But to me, the guy that just sits there and lobs grenades is far more pathetic than a guy who hates things as a shtick, or even if he truly believes it. Because that's why I don't like e-fapping other people's stuff, because like that's like acknowledging they're more interesting. I just don't care. And I said to sit there and just attack people. I said, like Wes never did anything to Richard. But personally, I'd like to see Wes fly across the pond and kick shit out of him. I don't know if he could, but it'd almost be worth it to see. Although I suspect that probably wouldn't go that way. But
well, Richard does have height on him, not military training apparently, but he does have height on him.
No, he's been in the military, so he's.
Both of them have. That's what I said.
Yeah.
But I know that's the thing. Like I said, I'm not going to take a Gary review seriously, but like you said, it's his shtick to not like it. Now, if we were in a conversation and away from everybody, and he was talking about it, and he says, "Yeah, I didn't really like," he gave me a reason. Okay, fine. But I've watched a lot of their videos. I actually do like, for as much as I bitch about it, I actually do like the Friday Night Tights crowd. They're okay, as a show. Never met them personally, so other than Gary, I can't say anything, but
I don't think I said they all seem to be nice guys, and the few that I've met I like, but Richard seems to take it personally at this point.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And I don't get that, because like I said, it's
if Wes went after Richard, I would understand it. I would understand Richard going, well, because I do understand a little bit, because I went through it with Ethan Van Sciver. He sent his war campaign after me, and we did the fucking debate and everything. And that next thing I know, I'm getting inundated with comments and freaking tweets and all sorts of shit like that. So yeah, I get it. I get how you would be upset if somebody did something like that, because I just want, at this point, just fucking stop. The one thing that has me so angry, I am afraid I may actually hit Ethan Van Sciver the next time I see him, was that after everything, I say, hey, look, okay, you know what? I think I was in the wrong on this part. I'm just reaching out. And, just between the two of us, I gave him an apology, and he fucking mocked it and read it on fucking line. So fuck him, never do that again. Never fucking do that again, ever. So as far as I'm concerned, I wish his family well. But with Ethan, I'm zero. Yeah, don't care. Do not fucking care one way or the other. So when I hear, I see Edwin Boye, he shares out a lot of Ethan Van Sciver stuff. I'm surprised. I am actually shocked anybody else is following him anymore. He has proven himself to be a fraud in every which way but loose. Every which way but loose. Yeah, seriously. But as far as e-fapping videos, I love doing that shit. I think that's awesome. I I have fun if I find a good video to tear apart. Yeah, I don't agree that it's bad or anything, especially like we did the one with the Comicsgate thing. And what were those people, the anti-fans or something like that?
I don't know.
That went after everybody who wasn't on the left. I don't know. I honestly think it was the death of Ed Piskor that tipped him over the edge, says Austin, talking about Richard.
But now he spends time currying favor with the people that cheered that death. And that's what I don't get.
You know what's funny is I like the streams better than the videos. When somebody EFAPs the video. Remember when Richard just gave up the lawsuit with Mark Wade? Well, he may have settling is not given up. Settling is behind the scenes going, look, this could go on. It's going to cost all this money. What will it take for you to go away? That's just settling. I mean, the thing is, it's just like with news. Good news is not some, to be honest, that goes viral. Bad news does. It's right. That is true. Live streams, I don't think this one's going to do well. But I was telling Eric, these live streams, especially when I go political, they've been getting old numbers. They've been getting high hundreds and up to 1,000. So it's telling me which direction to take this channel in if I want to make money. But I've always known that. It's just, do I want to make money doing that kind of thing? Politics, I'm not so against. I don't know, getting into what do they call it? A snipe fight or whatever it is. Blood sports with like an Ethan Van Sciver or something. I'm not really interested in that. Mainly because I'm not really interested in him. Let's see. RDB, what's up? He's saying Ethan used to be known for being a Green Lantern artist. Now he's only known for licking a public urinal. Did he actually do that? Oh, come on.
I don't know.
That's why if you ever watch the old Boomer Cable News, it's all basically bad coded news. Yeah. Sorry for the typos. Just meant good news attracts. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. There was a video of Ethan licking a urinal. God damn.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. And I'm a guy who makes jokes about sucking dick under a bridge.
Yeah, gross. I said I'm sure that I'm sure if I ever met Ethan outside of the YouTube sphere, he'd probably be a nice guy. I said we'd probably talk baseball. He's a big Phillies fan.
Yeah,
but I said the ones that are amplifying themselves, playing their parts. Because I said. If Gary's playing a part, Ethan's playing a part. I was like, I like talking just regular comics in baseball with John Delarose. I have no interest in the culture stuff he involves himself in. But it's sort of like a first cousin of separating the art from the artist. Like separate the man from the bullshit. Or what I may perceive as that. But because I said I think that, like I said, the one thing I agree with Richard about is, like I said, there was a lot more intense in 2017. 2025, I would argue Marvel hasn't gotten any better. DC's about halfway there, but they take that step forward and then they shoot themselves in the foot. They continue to do so.
Yeah.
Like I said the other day, one of their colorists, took to Twitter to defend that dude that wrote Red Hood. Shockingly, it's another dude pretending to be a chick, but
alrighty.
So that's and he's probably the best colorist at DC, but he's an awful person, apparently.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
We did a video here. Jack did a video on this channel where he was the top 10 comic book assholes or something like that. I was like, if you ever do another, you got to include Ethan Van Sciver on it. Now you got a whole shit ton. I don't even know if Ethan makes the top 10.
Well, you said in comics.
Ha! All righty. Yeah, there you go. That's the point, right? MK is asking, what do you like better, Doritos or Pringles? Well, I got a bag of fire lime of Doritos downstairs that actually wouldn't be too bad.
Doritos is sort of, it took years, but they finally seem to be just about back to their original formula.
Yeah.
Because they definitely, they did a new Coke thing with their nacho cheese.
They did.
Doritos.
It's lighter. It's not as powerful.
But it's just about all the way back now. So I think I'd still take nacho cheese Doritos over any flavor of Pringles. But
I'm the same way. But
I'm not going to turn either one of them down.
That's true. By the way, Pringles' best flavor is vinegar and salt, flat out. I mean, and by the way, that's the best vinegar and salt chip too. Lay's comes in a close second. But yeah.
I don't like vinegar and salt, but it's off to take your word for it. But I don't like barbecue either. So it's
I'm not a barbecue chip fan either.
I like sour cream and onion and basically cheddar cheese as far as just like plain, like just not too adventurous because like they that Philly Pringles came out with the Philly cheesesteak chip.
Yeah.
My area never got it. So Beckman likes to point that out.
Hey, if I see any around here, I'll grab a few, maybe drive some down.
Well, because he sent me Pringles one year for Christmas.
Oh, did he?
By the time they got to me, there were shavings. He might as well have sent me eggs, and it would have gotten there an omelet.
The reason I don't like the sour cream and onion is explanatory, but cheddar cheese is there.
So just the flavoring of that would mess you up.
I've got a gag reflex for the taste of onion now because that's where it leads to. So if I smell onion, I get sick from the expectation of being sick. If that makes any sense.
I can't taste onions when I eat those.
Yeah, it's weird because for a while, I know I can do it because I've done it in the past where I actually have taken a sip of French onion soup. I always liked it. But I always wondered why I got dizzy and why I couldn't eat very much of it because everything would just go blah, blah, and then it would be done. And then we realized, wait a second, allergies. Not allergies. It's called an aversion. It's different than an allergy. My head doesn't swell up and all that kind of stuff, and I get sick. I don't die. Well, not yet. I haven't eaten enough to do that, and I generally blow chunks very soon of it. But I don't even know if like the flavoring is actual onion. I think it's just flavoring. So. Because I've had onion powder, and that doesn't bother. Well, if I have too much, it bothers me. I guess that's where it really comes from. I still have Philly cheesesteak Pringles. Thanks for the reminder, says RDV. Someone farts and it smells like onions. Then what? I die. I have no idea. I've never smelled an onion fart before. Here's a crossover idea. Sean Connery, James Bond teams up with 616 Black Widow. Okay. He's going to tap that. Cheesesteak flavored Pringles sounds like a dystopian fantasy consumable, says Raycard. Yeah, smelling onions makes you sick at Comic-Con. Has to be like running through a gauntlet. It's 2025, folks. Deodorant is a thing. Yeah. Well, that is... Now, I've stayed in many a line on a hot summer day in Florida at a theme park, and you are not kidding about that. My grandfather loved scallops, but he found out that they don't love him when he woke up in a hospital. This was decades ago. Yeah, it just happens sometimes. I need Taco Bell, cheese, a gordita, crunch, Pringles. Okay. All right. We all have our wants and needs. That is awesome. Sir, this has been a 25-minute goodbye so far. It's not our record. It's not our record, but there you go.
We still have to go at least 15 more minutes for that. So it's.
Yeah. All right. So supposedly tomorrow we're doing Nova comic book covers as the ranking. And then Monday there is an auction. So please join us for that. And as always, thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you very much for Dominic showing up. What's up? And Eric, and thank you very, very much for what? Well, hold up. Okay, you sent a message. I'm here. Well, you guys have a great night. Thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good time.
See you all later.
Good night, kids.